You have to be crazy as hell to want to go into business with Peter Thomas. And then you have to be crazy as hell to want to divorce Michael Darby and then buy a house with them. Kinfolk, we're going to talk about all that and more on our first review of Real Housewives of Potomac right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around the crazy drama on the first episode of Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7. We have a lot to talk about, and so we're going to hop right into it. You know, you have to be very crazy to want to go into business with Peter Thomas. I wouldn't go into a paper route business with Peter Thomas, let alone go into a $1 million plus business deal with him. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying Peter Thomas is not a successful businessman. I'm just saying his track record does not really lead me to believe that he is this businessman that I would want to go into business with. It's kind of hit and miss when you come to the things that he has started and the things he has completed. And then you add that into, I think he had alleged tax issues and some other type of issues. And then coupled with that, us seeing him on several seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta and messing over Cynthia's money with the multiple bars and businesses that end up failing in Atlanta. Now, I will say, as a businessman, he made some mistakes, probably a lot of mistakes, and he's probably learned from those mistakes, and he probably knows the formula that it takes to make a business, a multi-million-dollar business brand, and I'm not going to take that away from him. However, if I was Wendy, I wouldn't take a chance on him figuring out if he learned from his mistakes with my money, not with my money, and here's why. Peter is a type of person who comes off as if he's a shady businessman. Not saying he is. I'm just saying a lot of his tactics and the way he was sitting there in that meeting with his shades on, it just lends me to believe that Peter may have up his sleeve a trick card for Wendy. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 20%, but it's going to take between 18 and 20 months for you to earn your money back in investments. And I'm thinking to myself, that sounds about right. But with Peter, you can never tell. She might be making back her money within the first year, and Peter might just be harboring all those profits and then spending on something else or investing somewhere else, and then just hoping when it hit the 18-month mark, he has recouped that money he invested with her share, and then he can give it back to her. I don't know. It just gives me scammer vibes. Not saying he's a scammer. I'm just saying the vibes that he's giving me. And if I was Eddie, I'd be hard pressed to cut Wendy a $300,000 check for her to hand over to Peter Thomas. It's going to take a lot of business plans. It's going to take a lot of lawyers. It's going to take a lot of paperwork and contracts and agreements in order for me to sign over a check for $300,000 to Peter Thomas. I'm just saying his track record ain't the best. But who knows? Maybe he's learned from his mistakes, and maybe he is this new multi-million-dollar hospitality genius. I don't know. I just want to take my chance on it, kinfolk. So moving right along, kinfolk, I want to touch on Charisse and why I feel like Charisse gives me these Sheree vibes. I don't know. Charisse gives me these Sheree vibes. And the reason I think that she gives me these Sheree vibes came from her conversation that she had with Robin. And here's what she said that made me kind of put her in the mindset of being a Sheree. And it was this. When the whole conversation came up about Robin not wanting to give half her money to Juan in case they divorced, and she was saying he didn't work for it, he didn't earn it, he didn't deserve half. I get where Robin's coming from, but then it was Charisse was saying, well, you don't think I deserved half? And then Robin was like, no, you didn't deserve half. And then Sharice was looking like, oh, I deserve half. Now, don't get me wrong. Being a housewife, raising your kids, and being the manager of your house while your husband's out there making the majority of the money is a business. It is a full-time job. But she kind of comes off as a charade type when she doesn't at least understand where Robin's coming from now that the roles are being reversed. Juan's working, she's working. So if they got a divorce, why does she have to give half of her money to somebody who also has a job, even though she's the main breadwinner? And the fact that Sharice couldn't see that made me put her in the mindset of Sheree when she was trying to get a $40 million settlement from Bob. And I don't even think he even had a $40 million contract while he was in the NBA or the NFL combined years. But it was like this delusion that I see in Sharice that I see in Sheree. Now, I will say Sharice is a smarter version of Sheree. And I'm just calling that spade a spade. She's a smarter version than Sheree. She was able to set herself up, and she was able to make sure that she was taken care of and her kids were taken care of well after the divorce on out. So we can say Sharice is a little smarter in that aspect. Way smarter than Sheree. However, when it comes to those whole delusions of grandeur, I get a lot of Sheree vibes. Especially when she made that comment about the guy that she was dating and she's only having sexual relationships with him when she gets bored. I'm like, that ain't nothing a woman of your, I'm going to say woman her age. I'm just saying that was just kind of not a classy thing to say. Oh, it's my little boy toy who I have sex with when I'm just bored. You know what I mean? And it kind of gave out those delusions of grandeur. Like, I have this little boy toy on call. He can come to my house whenever I need my itch scratch, and I just send him on his way. I don't know. But kinfolk, it gave me Sheree vibes, and I'm going to probably be side-eyeing Sharice for the rest of the season. Now, kinfolk, you have to be crazy as hell to understand why Ashley is doing what she's doing. But I think I know why she's doing it. And here's why. To me, Ashley is the fakest person on the show. She has been since she first stepped on the show. I do not for 1 second believe that she is physically attracted to Michael. I think she's only attracted to his money and the financial security that he provides for her. She got with him because it provided her a comfortable lifestyle at a young age that she wasn't able to provide for herself. Nothing's wrong with that. She was on the come up. But it just frustrates me, and this is from the first time I can agree with Giselle. It just frustrates me how she tries to gaslight us into thinking that she is divorcing Michael or that she's not a good fit for Michael, and then trying to gaslight us and thinking that, oh, no, I'm getting a divorce. We really want to get a divorce, but then telling us, well, I don't know, but we working through it. And I can see where the frustration from her uncle was coming from. It's like, what type of divorce is this? Like, what are y'all doing? And I think he is getting more so frustrated like the rest of us are when it comes to like her gaslighting us to thinking that she is really about to leave Michael when there are no signs that she's actually about to get rid of Michael out of her life. And I think I know exactly what is happening with Ashley and Michael. And that's why I say that she just comes off as the fakest person on the show. It's like from the time she stepped on the show, she has been trying to sell us this fairy tale marriage that is just not existing between the two. But here's the real reason why there's so much ambiguity in between her and Michael and their divorce. And it's this. Ashley cannot financially survive without Michael. She just can't do it. She cannot financially keep up the lifestyle that she has. Even if she cut back some, she's still not financially able to take care of herself, her 2 kids, by herself. She knows these things. Michael knows these things. Her prenup, she said, ended after 5 years. And now there is no prenup. I'm not buying that. Michael is very smart. And I think that she is realizing that she can leave Michael, but she's not going to get nowhere near half of what she's thinking she's going to get. Michael comes off the type of person who ties all his money up in his businesses and just gets paid from his businesses. So he has assets, but cash on hand, I think that's what he's looking at. Very smart move. And I think that's the move he's playing with her. And I think Ashley has consulted a divorce attorney. And they pretty much told her, Ashley, if you're working, Michael's probably going to only be on the hook for maybe, at most, maybe $6,000. That's the high end a month. but somewhere probably between $2 and $4 million. I mean, $2,000 and $4,000 a month in child support. I could be wrong, but I really feel like that's what the divorce attorney told her. And you know, you have to realize, Funky Dineva said this back when Monique was on the show. And she made that comment about how Bravo's check is just basically her wardrobe check. You have to realize that the Potomac ladies in Potomac do not get paid that much. Funky Dineva said that he told Monique how much she made on YouTube, and she said, "Damn, you making as much, if not more, than I am on the show." And so that leads me to believe that Ashley just cannot financially take care of her 2 children at the level she's taking care of them now on her own, and that's why she's very hesitant to really actually divorce Michael. Now, the latest thing that she's doing is just to get a house, maybe, but my money is on that she's realizing that she just can't afford to leave Michael and be able to upkeep the type of lifestyle that she's leading. And I think the holdup is her trying to figure out how she can do that without him. And I think she's finding that kind of hard to do. And Kinfolk, so the next thing I want to talk about, aside from Ashley being crazy as hell, is how crazy Wendy was at this spring party. And this is why I say that she was slick crazy. And it's this. Don't get me wrong, I like Wendy. I like Wendy a lot. I think she's a great addition to the show. But last season, Wendy, and I do agree that Gizelle was out of line for what she did and said about Wendy in her marriage. And I do think that that really cut Wendy deep, and that was emotionally traumatic for Wendy. And I think Wendy had all the right to go off on Gizelle the way she did, both on camera and at the reunion. But I just think it's just so crazy for you to pop up at this event and having not seen Gizelle in I don't know how long. Well, actually, probably was like maybe a couple weeks after the reunion, so they started filming, and you popped up and you want to hug her and have a conversation with her. If I'm with Gizelle, I'm looking at her like, I would look at you too like, we ain't cool, we ain't friends. You just pretty much told the world I tried to destroy your marriage, and now all of a sudden it's, hey, how you doing? What's up, girl? I'm like, nah. Go away from that fake stuff. So in that instance, I'm agreeing with Gizelle again. That was fake. And I think that, I don't know if Wendy is trying to play a mind game with Gizelle, or if she's really trying to turn over a new leaf with Gizelle and trying to get back cool with her. But that was kind of fake and odd. And I hope Wendy feel in a certain type of way about that, because I think that's the natural reaction that anybody would have given someone who has accused them of trying to destroy their marriage. And then you come up being nice to me. I'm like, I don't know. That is kind of odd. And then the last thing I want to talk about, Kinfolk, is how I am not agreeing with Gizelle during this episode, and it's how she approached Mia about her health situation. And this is why I feel like Gizelle was completely out of line, and it was this. Just like everybody, when I heard and saw Mia's video, I mean her Instagram post about her health scare with cancer, or what was led us to believe it was cancer, it was a very, I don't know, it was a very confusing statement to begin with. I always think statements should be quick, short, and to the point. And she was just like, she was rambling. It was kind of like she has this illness, but she doesn't know what the illness is, or she's not sure if she even has it. It was just a rambling, jumbling mess. And it did come off as if she was seeking attention. And I think everyone said, I bet you're about to start filming and she's looking for a storyline. And lo and behold, they were actually filming when she posted this, and it does seem as if she was looking for a storyline. However, if that is the case, that's one thing. But it is still, at the end of the day, a health issue, which is a very sensitive comment and a very sensitive thing to go through. And the fact that Gizelle didn't know if the girl was telling the truth or not, and the way she approached her, like, oh, this is how cancer looks, or this is what cancer looks like, was very immature, very disrespectful, and she probably should have got cut. She did get cursed out, but she should have gotten cussed out by Mia, because it's like Gizelle, and I see what a lot of other YouTubers say, especially Tisa tells. She said that Gizelle considers herself a producer, and I can see why, because that was a very highly produced scene. It was like Gizelle came to that party to literally ask her, why did she post that, and to tell her that it looks like she is seeking clout. And then she tried to throw Karen under the bus with it, and Karen was like, that's not what I said. Karen said it was different, and she might have not taken that approach, but she didn't call it weird. So that leads me to believe that Gizelle is still up to her old same tricks, and we're going to see a lot of that this season, which I am just not up for. But kinfolk, other than that, this was a great episode. Oh, I do want to say this one thing, and it's this. The food in Potomac, well, technically, yeah, Potomac and even in DC, from my own personal experience, just doesn't look good. Like when I was at the picnic, everything was store-bought and it didn't look appetizing. And I mean, even on last seasons, it just never looked good. That's just one tidbit I got from this episode. Like the food in the DMV area just does not look good, and it doesn't look appeasing, or what's what I'm looking for, or you know, appetizing. That's what I'm looking for. Even when I visited DC, it's always hard for me to find a good restaurant in DC. Maybe I'm not in the right areas. And the one restaurant I did find that I actually liked, everyone was saying they had code violations back in the summer for having rats and stuff in the food in the restaurant. I'm like, what? So to me, I feel like the whole DMV area just it's not a foodie destination. And every week and every season, Real Housewives of Potomac proved me to be correct. But if you're from the DMV area, please, if I am wrong, please tell me what are the better food places. So the next time I'm up that way, I can check it out for myself and change my whole perception of everything. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over in the next one. Peace.